Welcome to Faith and Freedom. For the next few minutes, we hope to inform, inspire, and encourage you as we discuss legal victories and challenges to your fundamental freedom and religious liberties. Faith and Freedom comes to you from Liberty Counsel, a civil liberties education and legal defense organization. Join us now as Matt Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel, explains the latest legal issues all across this country. In the courtrooms of America, Liberty Counsel is winning the battle for your constitutional freedom.
Liberty Counsel again launches its annual Friend or Foe Christmas campaign designed to educate and, if necessary, to litigate to make sure that Christmas and religious viewpoints on Christmas are not censored. I am Matt Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel. Joining me is Matt Barber, vice president of Liberty Counsel Action. Matt, Liberty Counsel's Friend or Foe Christmas campaign goes back many years, designed to provide education, and along those lines, we provide a lot of educational resources on a wide segment of issues regarding Christmas and litigation, if necessary, to litigate in those rare cases where education doesn't work. The good news is that most of the time, education has resolved the issues, and over and over and over again, we see these issues being resolved just by a letter or phone call because people have a misunderstanding of what is permissible with regards to Christmas.
Well, and we talked earlier the other day about the reality that most people that are in a municipal government, working in a municipal government or in a school district, or are discriminating against religious freedom and kind of innocently. They don't realize that what they're doing, they're actually buying into some of the different disinformation that the left puts out, groups like the ACLU, and so they're when it comes to Christmas time, they're real extra sensitive to trying to observe the so-called, quote, separation of church and state. And if they're not educated, then oftentimes what they end up doing is actually violating. So they're trying to do something they think they're supposed to do. They end up violating individuals' constitutional rights kind of innocently. And so if they get educated, they're not going to make that mistake. Yeah,
no question. So Liberty Counsel provides education first, and that is a lot of memos and brochures and booklets or pamphlets. So you can get that at lc.org. You can call 800-671-1776. We provide information about the public sector, such as public schools, in public property like City Hall, also in other public venues, in the private sector, in the work environment, and also in the environment such as the nursing homes, senior living facilities. You would think, well, what does that have to do with the controversies? Well, some that get federal funding think that if they get federal funding for anything of their senior living facilities, that they can't celebrate Christmas. We've had situations where Christmas trees have been banned, or the angel on top of the Christmas tree has had the wings literally clipped off so that it wouldn't look like an angel. And we've had other kinds of celebrations in nursing homes or senior living facilities banned. All of those situations we've been able to resolve. And in fact, there has been an opinion from the federal government some years ago that actually set the record straight because it became so problematic, even in senior living facilities. Let's talk about what is permissible. For example, first of all, in the public sector, Christmas carols and nativity scenes on public property.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we know the courts have upheld over and over again nativity scenes on public property. A lot of people think, well, it's the county courthouse. They can't have a nativity scene there. But as you know, and as you have argued in many courts across the country, Matt, and as the courts have upheld over and over again, they are permissible as long as there is also some kind of secular recognition of Christmas intermixed in with the religious materials that are appropriate, correct?
Yeah. If you have a public display on public property, so in other words, it's sponsored by, say, City Hall, and it's a nativity scene in front of City Hall or on City Hall property, it's a public display on public property, then it is permissible to have religious and Christian symbols or words within that display, as long as you also have secular symbols or words of the holiday. So, for example, you could have a nativity scene with Mary, Joseph, and Jesus, as long as you also had some other secular symbol of holiday, like a reindeer, Santa Claus, or a Christmas tree, for example, in the nearby context. The same thing happens also, and it is true in the school setting. So if you have a presentation of songs that the choir is singing, you can have Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer as a secular song. You can also have Silent Night as a Christian song. That's part of it. And it doesn't need to be 50-50. You can actually have even more Christian songs or religious songs than you have secular songs. Why? Because there's more of those. So that has also been upheld. So in those contexts where it's publicly sponsored, publicly presented or displayed, as long as you also have secular symbols of the holiday along with the religious symbols or words, it's perfectly permissible.
Now, in the retail world, of course, we have our naughty and nice list, part of our Friend or Foe Christmas campaign. This is where private businesses don't have to participate in Christmas, but consumers have a right to know what and which retailers share their value system, or at least are willing to recognize Christmas in their advertising, have a Christmas tree, have things throughout, ornaments and so forth throughout the businesses. What is our naughty and nice list, and how does this educate consumers?
Yeah, the naughty and nice list just looks at one issue, and that is how they are treating Christmas. Now, you can look at that and make that your starting point. If there's other issues with regards to the company, with regards to their support or their values, you can make that separate decision. It is focused solely on relationship to Christmas. And it looks at retailers that profit off of Christmas while pretending that it just simply doesn't exist, and other retailers in their marketing, in their titling of things that just simply ignore Christmas, versus retailers that actually acknowledge that Christmas actually does exist. And so the naughty list are retailers that profit off Christmas, pretending it doesn't exist. And the nice list are retailers that include retailers that actually acknowledge Christmas. So, for example, on the naughty and nice list, you have Abercrombie and Fitch. On the naughty side, you have 0 items with the word Christmas, and you have other organizations as well: Banana Republic, Gap, and Garmin, J. Crew Outfitters, Old Navy, and others. The good news is that the list is not that long. Now, Radio Shack has always been a perennial violator of the Christmas, doesn't have anything referenced to Christmas, and but what it does have is a competitor. And that competitor is, for example, one of many, Best Buy. You can get your electronics at Radio Shack, or you can get your electronics at Best Buy or a number of others. Well, Best Buy has been a consistent retailer on the nice list. So you can take a look at this naughty and nice list. The good news is that the naughty list is much, much shorter than the nice list. When it started off, it wasn't like that. And we've had a big impact on the retail market over these number of years that we've been involved in this naughty and nice list.
There's no question about it. I've been with Liberty Counsel about 6 years now, and every year, exponentially, it seems that the naughty list shrinks and the nice list grows. And on the nice list, we have Amazon.com. People use Amazon all the time. It's on the nice list. Belk. All of these companies, Matt, as you mentioned, they benefit and profit off of Christmas. That's the big retail season. Yet many of them kind of thumb their nose at Christmas. And,
for an example, you used to have CVS Pharmacy and Walgreens on opposite sides of the page. One was on the naughty side, one was on the nice side. The good news now is they're both on the nice side. And it is the retailers, you have been making a difference. Taking this list, sending an email, making a phone call when you go into shop, and you make your statement. Be polite and tell them that you appreciate the Christmas songs that you see. You appreciate even the fact that it's a Christmas tree. As silly as that sounds, years ago you couldn't find a Christmas tree. They were all holiday trees. They were really literally renaming them. And then when you go to other retailers that don't acknowledge Christmas, tell them, for example, you're not going to shop this year at, say, Radio Shack until they change their stance on Christmas. You're going to go to their competitor, Best Buy, or one of many other competitors that you can go to. Make your voice known. And when you do that to the cashier, to the business manager, to the store employees, that word gets around. There's a few hard nuts that just simply won't crack. But the more and more you make your position known, the more you'll have a big impact. You can go to Liberty Counsel's website, and that website is lc.org, lc.org. We have a Christmas action pack that includes some of our memos and also our bumper stickers and buttons as well, and most particularly the educational information. You can get the Naughty and Nice list free. We'll be able to download that on your computer or on your smartphone. And you can take that with you as you shop. Take it right with you into the store, print it off, or put it on your smartphone and be able to take that into these stores so that you know when you go into the mall which ones you want to patronize. And I think it would be a good exercise, too, to go to some of those that are on the naughty side just to give them a word while you're going to their competitor this Christmas season. You can and you have made a difference. Go to lc.org or libertycounsel.com for more information. Sign up for our emails, the Liberty Alert, our Grassroots Action email as well, and also order some of our resources on the Christmas Action Pack or other Christmas-related matters. Again, that website is lc.org.
You have been listening to Faith and Freedom with Liberty Counsel. We hope that we have motivated you to stand up for your faith, family, and freedom. We can accomplish a lot when we work together. Get informed and get involved today. Sign up for our free monthly newsletter, The Liberator. We will send it out to you free of charge. Stay informed with our Liberty Alert email updates. Just click on the website at www.lc.org or call us at 1-800-671-1776. Tune in next time to learn more about your rights right here on Faith and Freedom.